Welcome to Growing Up Boomer. I'm your host, Padre, with my co-host, Professor. And this podcast is dedicated to the life and times of the baby boomer generation. The show is loosely scripted, and sometimes we'll go down rabbit holes, and where it leads us to, one will never know. This podcast can be informative, funny, and sometimes irreverent. But most of all, we hope you find it entertaining. Hey, Professor, how's it going, my man?
Padre, it's going really well. I'm enjoying the sunshine and the warm weather.
You probably get quite a bit of it up there, don't you?
Well, I would have said up until a few days ago, I would say, yeah, but now, yeah, it seems like it. And I think we're into a nice spell. So that's good. And yeah, we're happy that the weather's turning nice because we're going on a hot air balloon ride this Saturday morning.
Oh,
and
wow.
And it's supposed to be really nice. So I'm excited about that part. So
Good.
Nice weather.
Good. Oh,
yeah.
Hey, by the way, you know what? And I've been telling you about this. In about a few months, I'll celebrate my 50th wedding anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to give advice to all the young husbands out there on how the best way to remember your wife's birthday.
Oh, okay.
The best way to remember your wife's birthday is to forget one.
True that.
And you will never forget your wife's birthday ever again.
That'd be like the last one you forget. Absolutely.
Yeah, that will be the last birthday you ever forget.
Yeah.
All righty.
Yep.
Oh, Professor, we've got some sad news here, of course, about George Wendt passed away.
Yep, he did.
From Norm, but
yeah.
We also lost Rick Derringer.
Okay, I didn't hear that.
Yes, on the 26th. He was only 77 years old.
Well, I didn't hear that. Okay.
Yes. Remember his big hit?
No.
Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo.
Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. Yeah.
That's the one. That's it.
Okay, that's the one.
Yeah. And but he was more of a producer and songwriter than he was a performer. He was in the McCoys. You remember the McCoys?
I remember the band, the McCoys. Yeah.
Do you remember their big hit?
No.
Hang on, Sloopy.
Hang on, Sloopy. Do. Hang on. Yeah, now I do. Okay, now I do.
Oh, yeah. Once I gave you the title,
I know. Yeah. I could put it together usually. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And he also worked, but he was a collaborator with the Winter brothers. Remember Edgar Winter and Johnny Winter?
Edgar and Johnny Winter, yeah.
Remember the two big songs?
Don't ask me. I will when you mention them.
The two big songs of Edgar Winter is Free Ride and Frankenstein.
Okay.
And he played guitar in both of those.
Okay.
I mean, I used to listen to Edgar Winter because, I listened to that way out type of music. Mm-hmm. And the Frankenstein was Mode Synthesizer and the Free Ride. Excellent. The Only Come Out at Night album. He also collaborated with Billy Cann and Cyndi Lauper and Weird Al Yankovic. I can't say it. Remember Weird Al?
Yeah.
He produced some of his albums.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And one last thing before we go on. I saw this movie. I'm gonna recommend it to you because I know you're looking at the classics, called Novocaine.
Novocaine.
I believe it's streaming on Netflix right now.
Why am I thinking? I think I've seen that. No, I haven't literally seen it, but I think I've seen it on Netflix. As in a top whatever it is, top 10 or what's trending now or something like that. Yeah,
it is truly bizarre.
Okay, bizarre in a good way or bizarre in a Padre way?
Bizarre in a Padre way because Padre really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Let me tell you this. And the reason why it caught my interest is because Dennis Quaid and Jack Nicholson's sons are in the movie.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So let me see. Jack Quaid and Ray Nicholson is in the movie.
Okay.
And Jack Quaid's character has a condition in which case he cannot feel pain. So he does not even eat solid foods because of the fear of biting into his tongue and bleeding to death. Because what ends up happening is that he's in a chase because they've kidnapped this young lady. He works at a bank. They've kidnapped her. He kind of has feelings for her, so he's chasing the bad guys. And they go like just one scene, in which case it's in the preview, so I'll say it.
Mm-hmm.
That he's fighting this one of the bad guys in the kitchen. Well, the gun falls in the deep fryer. Okay.
Uh-huh.
You know what's going to happen. So in order to get the gun, he's got to stick his hand in the deep fryer. I mean, so this is the entire movie. What this guy can go through and no pain or anything like that, you know. So it's
but what does it do to no pain? But what does it do to his hand after it comes out of his skull?
Exactly, you know.
No kidding. Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
It's one of those, you know. It's one of those cringe movies.
Okay. Okay. Well. Okay. You like cringy stuff. So okay. Didn't we talk last week about Nona's?
Yes, we did.
We saw it. We saw it the other night.
What did you think?
It was just a really, I'll tell you, they had me at that first big spread, the very, very first one. Okay. They had me because I like Italian food. I love it. Okay. And, the whole premise was great. I enjoyed it. It's not like a starstruck movie. Sarandon's very good, but, it was good. I enjoyed it. It's a really good feel-good movie. Is really what it was. Very uplifting. So it was good. So we saw that, and we also saw the new Mission Impossible. Okay, and that was a typical cruise Mission Impossible movie with action and unbelievable stunts. So I'll say no more.
Okay,
So,
well, that's
two good
fine.
movies. Yeah.
You remember in Nona's where the stove catches fire?
Oh yeah.
And what was she going to put in that stove?
Well, here's the thing. I love Italian food. Sheep's head, not so much. And anchovies are not my thing. Other than that, I'll eat pretty much anything on Italian food. But yeah, sheep's head. Can you imagine that? What do they call it? Well, I don't remember the name, the Italian name.
I've had sheep's heads. Remember?
No.
Remember we talked about the cheap foods?
Yep.
Oh yeah, it was great stuff, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Okay. You could keep it at your house. Whenever you have it next, tell me. I won't be over.
Well, I was going to say, we can prepare it for you.
You can prepare it. I won't be there.
Fair enough. Hey, what do you say we get into the podcast?
Okie dokie, dude. Let's do it.
All righty. Okay. Remember last week we were talking about iconic stars that were, for us, were bigger than life, but Zoomers, Gen Zers have no idea who they are.
Yep, we were.
And the first one, of course, that we're going to go, since this is part two, is Charlton Heston.
Oh, Charlton Heston. Talk about an iconic screen actor. Boy, and he was also very active politically too, which we'll probably talk about. But his presence on the screen, incredible. His roles, I mean, I mean, how many times have you seen 10 Commandments?
Oh, a ton of times.
Probably 10.
Every time
right?
Easter comes around.
There you go. Or Ben-Hur. Right, or Ben-Hur.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
right?
Ben-Hur. Absolutely.
Okay, and I had forgotten, that he was also in Planet of the Apes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. He was, he was really good. And I remember the chariots in Ben-Hur, just all those chariot stuff and everything else. But a movie, and then this is for anybody who's listening. If you haven't seen Soylent Green, of which Charlton Heston was in, you need to take a look at it. It is a classic one, and it's just a matter of when. You'll have to see it, to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was an excellent one. Edward G. Robinson, right after that, got the Academy Award for Lifetime Achievement.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The other one, did you know about this? Well, first of all, in his younger life, he did join the Army Air Corps. in
Okay.
1944. In
Okay.
1944, he was a radio operator and an aerial gunner on a B-52 Mitchell.
On a B-52. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And did you know this about Ben-Hur? That Marlon Brando, Burt Lancaster, and Rock Hudson turned down the role.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they say why?
Well, no, they just turned down the role. They probably, when you really look at a lot of these type of period movies, these Roman type of movies are really not big hits.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then they probably thought, you know what? We're looking for something more contemporary. And then, of course, Charlton Heston won for Best Actor.
Yep.
In that one. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
you know what? You mentioned Soylent Green.
Yeah.
You did like that, right?
Oh, I've watched it probably 3 times at least. Yeah.
You know which one is my cult favorite film on Charlton Heston?
What?
The Omega Man.
Yeah. Wow. I swear I've seen it, but it's been a long, long time.
Well,
Remind me what it was about.
Think about the Will Smith movie, I Am Legend.
Okay.
Like the last person on Earth.
Okay.
And what ends up happening is that he is the last person on Earth from this disease that has killed everybody, and the people that didn't kill it morphs them into some, mutant type of thing. Mm-hmm. So he's the last physical human being on Earth. And what ends up happening, they end up finding a couple of people, and it's because it's of his blood. And so they have to inject themselves with his blood in order to stay alive.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay.
And at the very end, there's the big fight, with the mutants and stuff like that. And at the very end, they kill him in the fountain. He's dying from his wounds, and he floats up. It's like he's on the cross. Like he's on the cross and giving life to everyone who was left of humanity.
There you go.
That is definitely one of my favorite Charlton Heston movies.
Yeah. Well, I like the 10 Commandments of Ben-Hur, and I like Soylent Green. So yeah,
I agree with Soylent Green.
Yeah, and Planet of the Apes. I know he was in it, and it was a good movie. There's no doubt about it, but it wasn't my favorite of his.
Yeah. He was in 3 of those, 3 of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. And of course, people. I would imagine even Gen Zers and millennials or whatever have probably heard of him because because of politically, being the president of NRA for so many years and all of it's been in the news and for whatever reason. So he was very politically active that way too.
Yeah. But I mean, he passed away in 2008. So
yeah.
Gen Zers were.
Yeah, Gen Z. Yeah, you're right. Okay, millennials,
babies.
Millennials probably would have heard of him.
Yeah.
So. Well, that's Charlton, but then of course there's another icon was Bette Davis.
Oh, Betty Davis, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, was she something or what?
She's okay. I mean, she was she was still doing her stuff in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s. So she was around there for a while, but she was a lot of people thought she was in a league of her own. As far as that concerned, she was really good. And the 2 movies that I remember was All About Eve, and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. And those were probably the two biggest movies of hers that she did that I recall anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. The big one that I really enjoyed was Now Voyager.
So I didn't see that.
That is one of her biggest movies. It's a complete departure. Like All About Eve, she's got that swagger and that independent woman. Mm-hmm. This one, she is under the thumb of her overbearing mother, and she escapes and goes on this cruise, meets somebody, and it's just how they develop the relationship. Mm-hmm. Finds out that she doesn't have much time on this earth, so we say. It's just a wonderful, wonderful movie. Complete departure from her. One of her best.
Cool.
But I will tell you this. The one I really like is Hush, Hush, Sweet Charlotte.
I haven't seen it.
Oh man. That one's a very, very good one. Very good.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it starts off at the beginning where all of a sudden there's one guy who goes to see her. She's like a debutante type of Southern debutante, and
Hmm.
they kind of like this guy sneaks off because they're going to meet privately,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden this woman comes out. She looks like Betty Davis and hacks off his hand. Okay, now my wife was very young when she saw that.
Hmm.
And so she never slept with her hand outside the blanket. They would go to movies that should not have been seen by kids at the time.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mom would take them to movies. Oh, let's go see Psycho.
There was no rated R then.
Yeah, there was no rating.
Yeah.
And
No.
then they would see all of
I
these
know.
movies.
I know. Okay. When the heck did the ratings come out? The 60s, 70s,
It came
80s?
out. It came out in the 60s, right after The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right
Okay.
after The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, because a lot of foreign films, there was the Hays Code that used to basically tell them how to make movies and what they could do and what they couldn't.
Right.
And then when Good, the Bad, and the Ugly came out, they just said there's too many foreign films that are not falling under the Hays Code, so we're just going to have them made and we'll come up with the codes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then eventually came up right after Gremlins, because of the microwave scene, they came up with PG-13.
Yeah. Okay.
But did you know this about Betty Davis?
What?
Is that she and Warner Brothers had a legal battle?
Nope. Did not know.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she was very, very independent.
Mhm.
And they had a legal battle in 1936,
Okay.
in which case she wanted to work on a project, and they told her, no, you can't. We got 2 other projects that we want you to work on.
Hmm.
Nope, I ain't doing it. If you want me
Okay.
to do it, you're going to give me a raise.
Okay.
And you're going to renegotiate my contract. You're going to give me a raise and allow me to go to other studios and make movies, which was unheard of back then.
That'd be unheard of.
Okay. Now, at the time, Davis was earning $1,250 a week.
Okay.
Back in 1936, that's big
Oh,
money.
No, that's big money. Yeah. Absolutely.
Jack Warner offered her an increase of salary to $2,250 per week, and she refused.
Okay.
What she was $3,500 a week, plus all the rights.
Wow.
Oh, she was
He was one toughie. Wow.
Oh, yeah. And then she goes off anyway to make the movie in England. Warner Brothers sues her for $80,000 in restitution. Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She ends up losing in the English court.
Oh, wow.
Not only does she have to pay them restitutions, now she's got to pay their legal fees as well.
Oh, boy.
You know?
Wow.
And
Okay.
of course, the British press.
Oh, yeah.
The National Enquirer.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Mhm.
They just call her an ungrateful person. She's overpaid and ungrateful.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were brutal on her.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. She was still an outstanding actress.
Oh,
Regardless.
yes.
Yeah.
And she's got to be outstanding. Kim Carnes wrote a song, Betty Davis Eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, so she was just
big. She had those big eyes. Yeah.
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 And that was the key, is she broke the mold. She wasn't a looker,
Right.
right? I mean, she broke the mold. It was her swagger. It was her just her ability to just say, I don't care who you think you are. You ain't telling me what to do.
Yeah.
Oh, she was awesome.
She was.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, how about, speaking of, how about Paul Anka?
Paul Anka. What a singer.
Oh,
What
yeah.
a singer. Yeah.
I think he talked more about like almost a crooner. You know, I mean, he
was a crooner. Yeah.
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 You Are My Destiny. You remember that one?
You Are My Destiny. Put Your Head on My Shoulder.
That was a big hit for him.
Yeah. Do you know that he wrote She's a Lady for Tom Jones?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And wrote My Way for Sinatra.
Yes.
Have it my way.
He was the one. That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, he wrote the theme song for The Tonight Show.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was pretty big. Yeah. And what was the other one that, He did. Lonely Boy, Put Your Head on My Shoulder. Oh, Having My Baby.
Having My Baby. I don't remember that song.
It was his relaunch in 1974.
Hmm.
Having My Baby. Bum, bum, what a lovely way to...
I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah. 1974, big hit for him.
Okay. All right.
Big. And he's still alive. Born in 1941, he's still going strong.
Well, he's young if he's born 41.
Yeah, compared to the other two. Huh?
Because if I'd say that he's old, and I might as well be looking in the mirror and saying that. Not that I was 41, but anyway, yeah.
I was going to say the best kind of like cartoon that I saw was a man and his wife sitting at a diner. And he leans over and he tells her, in 10 years, we're going to look just like that couple. Right? She leans over and looks. She says, that's a mirror you're looking into. That's what I always say about old age. Isn't it funny that people our age look much older than we do?
They do. Of course they do. Okay. Yeah. I mean, when I think about how old I am now, some years ago, oh man, that is old. And now I'm here. It's kind of like, I'm not old. That's old.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're the same age, and they're probably thinking the same thing about us.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Paul Anka. What about Carol Burnett?
You've said
She's
enough.
Hysterical. She is this person.
Mm-hmm.
Carol Burnett show obviously was the big one, and but she was in Annie. It's the 1982 version of Annie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And but what I started thinking about it and looking at her and so on, I had forgotten that she was in Better Call Saul, that series. Okay. And absolutely she was there. So, and that's not, that series is, well, it was ended 22 or something like that. So, a lot of people, not boomers, younger than us may have seen that too. Because Better Call, is, if you liked, where's my brain? Anyway, of course, that was a spinoff from, here it is.
Breaking Bad.
Okay, Breaking Bad, and now we're just talking about old, they're old. Okay, now that I just went through, I guess maybe I am old. Okay, forgetting that, of course, Breaking Bad, which itself, that was an incredible thing. But in there, and she won Golden Globes and Primetime Emmys and Grammys and Peabodys and Tony Award. I mean, she was very, very decorated as far as that's concerned. So a lot of hardware in her closet.
Yeah. Did you know she was also in the Twilight Zone?
Doesn't surprise me. Okay, I don't know which one.
It was Cavalier's Coming. We did a Twilight Zone one once.
Yeah, a while back,
and it was actually not written as a Twilight Zone, but it was a pilot for a comedy show.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was in the Twilight Zone, but Rod Serling thought, hey, you know what, if this is successful, I am going to do a spin-off on this one, but of course it tanked. Nobody liked it, because it wasn't the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it wasn't the Twilight. Yeah.
It was kind of silly.
Well, it was silly. That's why people didn't like it. They didn't want silly. They're not used to silly on the Twilight Zone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But she showed her slapstick vaudeville kind of humor.
Yeah.
So she was very, very good in that.
Yeah, she had a really good time. It was a good show. It really was.
Yeah, you're right. I think it was nominated like 23 times or something like that.
A ton of times.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, but you have to admit the staff of her was hilarious. Tim Conway.
Mm-hmm. He's hysterical.
Oh, yeah. Harvey Korman. Okay. Yeah.
But
Tim Conway. Oh, some of the stuff he used to do, I don't think they can do that anymore.
Yeah, probably not. Those are the old days.
Yeah, dwarf on golf. Oh, those were bad. Right.
They had some bad ones.
Yeah. Then what was it? The other one? Oh, Vicki Lawrence.
Oh, Vicki Lawrence. That's right.
Yeah. When the show started in 1967, she was only 18 years old.
Wow.
Well, then, I
Wow.
mean, she's a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah. 18 is a teenager.
Yeah, yeah.
Still is.
Yeah.
It was then. It still is now.
Well, the way they're talking now, it's like 25, still a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. So, yeah. Right. I know. Crazy.
Uh,
Carol Burnett.
Carol, she was awesome. If anybody, go on YouTube and see the old shows, you will love them. They are just funny. Oh,
Yeah.
how about this? How about Donna Summer?
Donna Summer. Yep. Queen of Disco.
You got it. Did you?
Yeah.
Were you big into disco?
For a time. I mean, I was more into the Bee Gees and that kind of music. Well, Donna Summer, yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. It took me a little while to get into it, but yeah, once I got into it, it's got a great beat. I mean, it's dance music. I mean, it is dance music. So, and I enjoy dancing. So I did then. Yeah. So, yep.
Yeah. She passed away in 2012 from lung cancer.
Yeah.
That's 3 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
She believed in her heart of hearts before she passed away that it was from 9/11.
Really?
Because she had an apartment near Ground Zero, or a home near Ground Zero. She was there when it happened.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And there was a lot of the firemen and first responders that have died from that, because half of that building was done in asbestos.
Yeah.
So
so it could very well be. Yeah.
So she was a non-smoker. She was a non-smoker.
Yeah. Okay, that I didn't know, but I could see if you were exposed a lot of stuff down at Ground Zero, anywhere nearby. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, she Last Dance was one of those Hot Stuff. Okay, on the radio. Yeah. Okay. She also she was in Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and she also fronted for the band Crow.
Yes.
Yeah.
But disco, I'll be honest with you, I really, really enjoyed disco. A hard rocker such as myself, I really enjoy disco, and people are shocked when they hear that.
Yeah, well, I'm not shocked because disco's good. I mean, it's dance music. I mean, it just makes you move.
Yeah, like Gloria Gaynor.
Yeah, Gloria Gaynor. Okay.
I Will Survive and Chic.
Yeah.
The Village People. How can you not like
the Village People? Yeah. Wow, I haven't heard them in a long time. That's a name for the past. Of course, a lot of these are, but
Casey and the Sunshine Band.
The Casey and the Sunshine Band, yeah.
I
like it.
Kool and the Gang.
Kool and the Gang.
Mr. Sledge.
I thought we were doing this on Icons.
No, this one's going to kill you, because this next artist, was my mom's favorite.
Okay.
Rick James.
Rick James. I remember Rick James. Super Freak. Okay, got it.
My mom had his albums.
Okay.
All
right. Okay. All right. Okay. Rick James. There you go.
Yeah, she's one of the very few single artists that had hits in 4 different decades: 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000. No, actually, her last hit was in the 2010s.
Really? Wow. Yeah. What was it? Do you know?
I think it was She Works Hard for the Money.
Okay. She works hard for the money.
Yeah. Okay. 70s, 90s, 2000 to 2010. There's only a few artists that can say that. Single artists like Cher, Aretha Franklin. Let me see, Diana Ross.
Right.
Whitney Houston's another one.
Whitney Houston would be another one, sure.
Yeah, and Madonna.
And Madonna, yeah.
So, but I'll be honest with you, I really was not a Bee Gees fan.
Okay, I like them. I remember. Oh God, what's the Travolta movie?
Staying Alive.
Staying Alive.
And Saturday Night Fever.
Okay, and Saturday Night Fever. Just exactly. All those. Those are great. I enjoyed it. I really like them. It was cool. Disco. So it was great.
Yeah. Do you know who produced Staying Alive?
No.
Sylvester Stallone.
Did not know that.
He has this is when he was very, very, very popular. He has a cameo in it at the very beginning. The theme song for Staying Alive is going, and John Travolta's walking down the street.
Yep, that's what I remember.
Bumps into this guy. This guy turns around. He's got sunglasses. Give him a kind of like a Dirty Look. It's
Uh-huh.
Stallone.
Uh.
The women in the audience went crazy. You know, they just went a. Oh,
Yeah.
that was a small little thing.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know he produced. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Donna Summer.
Mhm.
So, are you ready for the next one?
Sure.
ready?
What you got?
Here's Johnny.
Oh, Johnny Carson, huh?
Yeah, Johnny Carson. Yeah. What a character. I mean, I would stay up. I can't tell you how many nights to watch that show.
Mhm.
Okay. And it was probably past my bedtime, but I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Okay. It was hysterical. Just incredible. And I like Jack Parr. Okay.
Yeah.
And Johnny replaced Jack Parr. And I was kind of like, reticent that it was going to happen, that it was going to change over. But once he got into it, it was great. He it was great. He had so many guests on. It's incredible how many he had.
Yeah.
But what I remember a lot of his animal ones, because he went out on a limb and he would bring animals on. And I don't know, was it a monkey or something that was on his head? Okay, just stuff like he took chances. He really did, and trying to make the audience laugh, and he did a great job.
Yeah.
He really did.
Yeah. What did he have? Karnak?
Karnak. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Karnak. Yep.
Envelope on his head.
Yeah.
That's the rhythms.
Yeah. Karnak. Okay. Yeah. And he was on there for 30 years.
Yeah.
30 years. And he of course Ed McMahon was the host. Okay, and he's the one that always said, "Here's Johnny." I was there for a long time. And but he died of emphysema. He was a big smoker.
Yes, he was.
Big smoker, died of emphysema. And if I recall, his last guest was Bette Midler. His last guest was Bette Midler, but his favorite guest, who do you think his favorite guest was?
I have no idea who.
Steve Martin.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. Just loves, and if you like Steve Martin, you can probably understand. But yeah, so it was great. But I remember those animal shows. Yeah, he was good. He was very good.
Maybe he liked those two because he didn't feel like they dissed him. Because remember, he had a reputation. If you showed disrespect for him, you were on the you know what list.
Yeah, the poop list. Yeah.
Yeah. Remember what happened to Joan Rivers?
Yes. Oh, yeah. He really got on her. Yeah, he really did.
And
there's another name.
Yeah, and if somebody he felt wronged him, they would be joke after joke after joke about that person on the air.
Yeah.
I think he felt Raymond Burr wronged him, and he just continued to make jokes about his weight.
Yeah.
He was just that kind of guy.
Yeah, he was relentless. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
But in all honesty, though, too, I mean, we all have our sides, different sides, but he was also very charitable.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Yeah. He started a charitable foundation. I think he started it with about $150 million, which is equivalent to about $250 million today.
Right.
For the personal trust fund for Hollywood charities, and would give out for emphysema and performing arts, and he put it in a trust fund, and it's still giving out money. It's still giving out money to film institutes and things like that. Anything to help young aspiring comedians and actors. So I mean, he was very, very charitable.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the last one was in 2021, I believe. It was like $5 million donated the Opportunity Scholarship Fund.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he was definitely generous. He did. He gave back a lot. Yeah, he did. Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah. But one of my favorite one was like Doris Day.
Doris Day. Now, she's another one that could just brighten your day. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I think we went over, who did we go over last week? And she was American Sweetheart. She was America's sweetheart. I can't remember. We went over that.
Not
That
Debbie
was,
Reynolds.
who was
Not
it? The one with
not
the
Debbie
scandal.
Reynolds.
The one with the scandal.
Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie Reynolds.
Right.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah,
America's
yeah.
sweetheart.
Yeah.
Doris Day was the girl next door.
Yeah, she was. She was. Absolutely.
You know what her last name was? It wasn't Day.
Oh no, it was no. Yes, it was Von Kopelov.
Yeah. Kopelov.
Kopelov.
I mean, that sounds like a Mike Myers movie.
Yeah.
Villain.
Could you imagine that? Do you think her career would have been the same if she was out there as Doris Von Kopelov?
How about John Wayne? Same thing.
Yeah, well, yeah. Oh, well, his name, yeah, Robert Marion.
Yeah.
Robert. Yeah.
Yeah. Morrison.
Yeah, Morrison. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to Doris Day.
Mhm.
You know, it's big and sentimental journey. Okay, that one.
Yes. They-
She, in Pillow Talk
oh,
and the Pajama Game. These
Did
are classic movies. These are really good
Hey,
movies.
they're great. They're
Yeah.
great. Rock Hudson.
Rock Hudson. Yep, along with her. Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Pillow Talk. Do you remember that one?
I do.
Oh my God, I watched that one over and over.
Yeah, I've seen that a few times myself.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
so
it's a great movie. It's
Yeah.
really good.
very good. And Don't Send Flowers.
Don't
I
Send
mean,
Flowers.
Yeah, she always did these feel good type of movies.
She was
Oh,
a feel-good actress.
Very good, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I've remember seeing her in really dramatic roles.
Mhm.
You know,
Well-
they're more feel-good movies. You're right.
I think though later she was filming The Man That Knew Too Much.
Okay, well, that wasn't a feel-good movie.
No, it wasn't. But
Hmm.
what she felt, it was like in 1964, she thought the mistreatment of animals in the marketplace scene, which inspired her to act against animal abuse.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started some foundations for the well-being of animals, especially in the film industry.
Okay, I was going to say she wasn't big in PETA, was she? I
No,
don't think.
no,
Okay,
no.
yeah.
Yeah, but she did have she did have a lot of foundations for making sure that the animals were treated nice, and also she was very, very big in the HIV and AIDS awareness
Mhm.
for many years, especially after. I mean, she stood behind Rock Hudson when he was dying of AIDS, and
Mhm.
she was very, very,
Yeah.
very, very influential in making sure that the research money went there, funding for research and things of that nature. So she
Sure.
was very,
Sure.
very good, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, she was good. Now you mentioned John Wayne.
Mhm.
Okay. Now that is a legend. He
Yeah.
is really a legend. I mean, you know, once you knew John Wayne, you would never forget his voice.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
And the way he walked.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
It was, you would never forget it. Just
Oh.
the charisma there was just amazing. And of course, you know, they call him Duke.
Mhm.
Okay. That was his nickname.
Yeah.
And yeah, he had some great movies that he was in.
You know where he got the nickname Duke from?
No, it's there somewhere, but I don't remember.
It was his dog's name.
Oh, okay.
And what ended up happening was that when he was walking his dog, he'd walk by the fire department, and they knew the dog name was Duke, so they called John Wayne Little Duke, and he liked it. He liked it so
Okay.
much, he called himself Duke.
Okay.
And when his first movie was Duke Morrison, but they felt that, you know, that just didn't work.
Right.
So they went through John Anthony, which was a hero from the Revolutionary War, but the producers felt it sounded too Italian.
Mhm. Okay.
So what they did was they decided on John Wayne.
Okay. Where'd the Wayne come from?
What's that?
Where'd the Wayne?
They just like the Wayne. They liked
Okay.
John Wayne and said it sounded manly and everything like that. The funny part is he wasn't involved. He came in one day and they said, "You are now John Wayne."
Okay.
Okay, sure, no problem. You know,
Well, it worked.
yeah. He was like 6'4". He's a big man.
At 6'4", 225 pounds. He was a big dude. Yeah. He wasn't the little Duke.
Yeah, he was a little dude. He was a big dude.
He was a big Duke.
Which one's your favorite movie of John Wayne?
Probably True Grit.
Oh, that was a very won an Academy Award.
Yeah, see, there you go. Yeah, no, that was good. But Rio Bravo was good. Rooster Cogburn.
Oh yeah, that one was good.
Yeah.
I would tell you my two favorites. Number two, alrighty, my two favorites. Number two is The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance.
Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Yeah,
man, that
was good.
Movie.
That was a good movie. Yeah.
Stewart and everything like that.
Yeah.
But my number one is The Searchers.
Okay. I don't think I saw The Searchers.
They don't show that one too much because it is not sensitive, shall we say, towards the Native Americans.
Native Americans, yeah. Well, he was definitely a lot of Western theme was a big deal with him.
Yeah. No, this one's completely different. This deals with racism. This one is, oh my goodness, this guy just, he goes off to fight for the Confederacy.
Okay.
And the Civil War ends, then he fights the Indian Wars with the Union Army. So he's already got this hatred for the Comanches. Then he comes back home and he finds out the Comanches have raided one of his relatives' ranch and killed everybody and took two of the women as, I wouldn't say hostages, but as slaves, I would imagine.
The Parkers.
Yeah, and then what ends up happening is that they go searching for them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of them is searching for him because they want to bring him back. The young kid wants to bring him back. He's got feelings for the young lady. He wants to bring him back because the other one is her cousin or something like that. John Wayne wants to find them to kill them because they've been defiled by the Comanches.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a completely separate role from John Wayne.
Interesting. It's interesting because I'm reading a book now, Empire of the Summer Moon, which is exactly about what you just said. Okay, about the Western expansion. Okay, basically past into Central Texas, actually Eastern Texas, and that was like the line back in the mid 1800s. Okay, actually a little earlier than that, and how the Comanches just ruled it. They were fierce, and how they were just incredible horsemen, okay, what they could do on horseback and how they could shoot arrows and everything else. And the military all did everything from the ground, okay, and until the Texas Rangers came along, okay, who then got on horseback and they started to have a good luck with the command. Anyway, it's a really good book, but I haven't seen The Searchers, but now that I'm reading that book, which is kind of like that, I think I should search for The Searchers.
Yeah. One other one I did really enjoy, which was his last film, was The Shootist.
Okay, I didn't see that either.
Oh, that one was very good. As a matter of fact, he knew he was dying at the time when he made the movie. Jimmy Stewart's in it, Lauren Bacall, Ron Howard. There's about 3 or 4 other main actors.
Yeah.
I mean, icon actors.
Right.
It's just a very, very good movie. One of his best performances.
Yeah.
Very good. The Shootist. Very, very
The Shootist. Wow. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, here's another one for you.
Okay.
Now, this one, I'm just chuckling just thinking about it. Lucille Ball.
Oh yeah.
that it's it's really, that kind of stuff is kind of like timeless if you think about it. I mean, the comedy was just as sketchy and everything else, and just some silly things, but the timing, okay, and just the way that show went, quirky. God, geez, Louise, she was really, really good. She
got her. She was did a lot of bit parts, and one of her bit parts was the Three Stooges. She did a Three Stooges, three little pigskins. And you know how much I love the Stooges.
Yeah, they're funny too.
Oh my goodness, I love the Stooges, and that was a great one.
Yeah. I know.
Three little pigskins. They were were great.
Yeah, I didn't do that, but I mean, I remember the shows. I mean, I should every once in a while. I don't know why. Obviously, they're they're in syndication, so you can actually watch them. But I guess I'm going through. I don't know whether it's Hulu, whatever it is. I'm going through, and every once in a while, for whatever reason, there's a Lucille Ball, and I'll check it out for a couple of minutes and just remind me of how funny it was. And with Desi Arnaz, Ricky Ricardo, that was he in the show, and the Mertzes. Okay, it was hysterical. She, but what her show really, it actually broke some barriers.
Yes, it did.
One of them was the multi-ethnic marriage.
Yes.
Okay, which was kind of breaking a barrier back then, and also pregnancy. In fact, she had her first child when she was 39. So yeah, so she was a great show. Great, she was funny, hysterical.
I'm going to tell you this: that speaking of her younger life, and this is what motivated her to go into comedy. In her younger life, in about 1926, she was dating a young man. She's 14 years old, and she's dating a young man who's 21. The mother does not approve.
Okay.
Is really upset because this guy's kind of like a hoodlum type. So, she knows her daughter wants to be an actress. So she decides to enroll her in the John Murray Anderson School for Dramatic Arts.
Okay.
In which case, which is in New York, which case she starts, and one of her classmates is Betty Davis.
Oh, okay.
But, Lucille Ball's instructors felt that she would not be a success in the entertainment world. And we're not shy about telling her that. Okay. So what happens is that now they told her that now she's determined to make it, to prove the teachers wrong. And then so she picks up a lot of parts in theater and stuff like that. And eventually what ends up happening, she lands a role as Liz Cooper in a radio show called My Favorite Husband, which is basically I Love Lucy. Because the beginning, at the first, the name of the character was Liz Cugat. In which case, that's Xavier Cugat, the band leader. And he sued and said, you will not use that name. So it was a radio show. In 1948, so successful, CBS decides to pick it up. But they insist, right? Desilu Productions insists that Desi Arnaz be the husband, and you're absolutely right. The studio said, we don't know about this mixed marriage thing. The audience would be able to take that. So guess what they do? They take it on the road. They take it on the road, and the people love it.
Loved it.
Yeah. So what ends up happening? CBS says, okay, let's do it. They are the first program to ever run reruns.
That I did not know.
Yeah.
But I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And you could tell the difference between, because if you remember, it was always, they had like it always come out in November or whatever. And then it would be the shows. And then they would do the summer shows, which were kind of like pilots to see if anything would stick. What happened was that they decided to do, they decided to do reruns. And the way you could tell, on the first run, it was a sign with stick people like Desi Arnaz and Lucille Ball on one side. If it was a rerun, it was the heart with the arrow through it.
Okay. Got it. Got it.
So they were, you were right. They were so groundbreaking. It was unbelievable. I have to do it. And it says for the show, the funniest laughter was when Lucy and Ricky practiced the tango. And it was the episode called Lucy Does the Tango. It had invoked the longest recorded studio audience laugh in history of the show.
I believe that. Yes, it was a hysterical show. Yeah. They did some silly stuff. Okay, when she was making the pies. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay, the episode she was doing the pie. Yeah. On and on and on. It's hysterical. Definitely iconic.
what you call it, making the wine. Remember, stomping?
Oh,
When they were in
stop
Italy?
the wine. Her faces, her facial expressions, just incredible how they could just change. Just you're right. I mean, she's amazing. It was really good. Yeah,
And you know what?
awesome.
My sister-in-law adored this woman, and
Mhm.
so much that when she passed away, people at her husband's work were asking him if she was okay.
Mhm. Yeah,
She passed away. You know, is your wife okay? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
Lucy Ball passed away. I mean, she loved it. She still watches them. She loved Lucy Ball.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I understand. She was hysterical.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, last week we talked about our icons, and we discussed Jack Lemmon last week. He
Right.
was my guy. He was my guy. I mean,
Right.
he was excellent timing. Could do dramatic. Could just do about anything. But I know you must have some as well.
Well, I mean, one that I thought was really cool, Steve McQueen.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I think everybody still he's king of cool.
Well, he's the king of cool, but I mean, he's been, his shows, his movies were years ago. I mean, there's a Steve McQueen now, but that's not the Steve McQueen I'm talking about.
You're talking about Steve McQueen, 1960s, right?
I'm talking about Steve McQueen. I'm talking about 60s. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. King of cool. He was an icon in the 60s and the 70s. He made 24 movies. Magnificent Seven. Okay. Great movie. Yul Brynner was in it. Charles Bronson, Eli Wallach. That was a good movie. The Great Escape was just that's the classic. Well, that's my favorite of his movies. James Garner was in there. Richard Attenborough, James Coburn. Okay, I mean, we're talking about icons. We're picking icons, and we just did, but there's so many that we're missing. Okay, I mean, we could do a month of these.
Yes.
The Cincinnati Kid, and Edward G. Robinson. Okay, how many shows has he been in? Carl Malden. Okay, Tuesday Weld. Okay, Papillon. Papillon was a great movie.
Yes,
that's another really good movie. Steve McQueen.
Mm-hmm.
Dustin Hoffman was in that one.
Yes, he was.
I don't know if you knew that. And then Love with a Proper Stranger, which I haven't seen, but Natalie Wood was in there.
Yeah.
And of course, we know her from West Side Story, which a lot of people probably do know.
Yeah.
So, and Tom Bosley. So, yeah, I mean, Steve McQueen definitely was one of them. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have another one?
Oh, yeah. Well, you're right. There were so many. How about Anne Margaret?
Oh, Anne Margaret. Yeah. Another great one.
The two of them, Anne Margaret and Angie Dickinson.
Angie Dickinson. What about Audrey Hepburn?
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Sophia Loren.
Sophia Loren. Yeah. Brigitte Bardot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Raquel Welch, who just passed away, I think 2 years ago.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, another icon. Yeah.
I mean, they were just unbelievable fashion. Fashion icons. I mean, everybody followed everything they did.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. We can go on and on. Sal Mineo.
Yeah.
From Rebel Without a Cause. I mean.
Right. And West Side Story.
Yeah. He was really awesome. But,
yeah. So.
I mean, we could go on and on. I mean, there's so many.
I know.
Wow. We didn't even mention Paul Newman.
Paul Newman. What about Robert Redford?
Yeah, but he's still kicking, so everybody knows.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and Paul Newman. No, Paul Newman passed away. He died, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah, a while back. But he makes great salad dressing.
He makes more than just salad dressing. Yeah. He makes good decaf Keurig coffee.
There you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, he does all kinds of stuff.
I know he really does. And a lot of that, he gives back. A lot of that is to charity.
Yes, it was.
Correctly,
yes, Steve McQueen, the same thing.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when he was doing the movies, one of the things that he would ask for would be pallets. Pallets of knives, shavers, all kinds of stuff, and he would give it to the Chino Hills Youth Center.
Okay.
He was a member there for a while.
Oh. Okay, he was giving back.
Yeah, he was giving back, but a lot of actors, especially the ones that grew up during were very young during World War II and the Korean War. I mean, because they all came up and in almost poverty, so they were always giving back. So
that's good. Nice.
Well, you know what, Professor, we're running a little long. What do you say we end
I think we went a while. We did. So it was probably we better.
And you're right. We could go months.
We really could. There's so many good actors and actresses out there that we could talk about. So it's cool. All right. Sounds good to me.
Well, you have a great one, my man.
You too. All right. Talk later.
Bye-bye.
We'd like to thank you for listening and remind you if you happen to have any baby boomer topics you'd like us to cover, just email us at growingupboomer@gmail.com. And until next time, may God bless.